Good day, good day, good day. Greetings, 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 my brothers and my sisters. This is Brother West, and I just want to talk briefly to someone's. And the title of my message today is, or I have a question to ask you. Are you afraid to fail? Are you afraid to fail? There are so many people that I know and that I've met that they are afraid to fail. And for that reason, they won't try. See, because the reason why they're afraid to fail, because the thing that they're trying to overcome or trying to excel at, they've failed before. And for that reason, they're afraid to try again. My son Dominic, one time he at a football game, he was a running back and he got a pitch. He got the ball and he ran the ball, he got it, and he took a couple steps and he went upfield. And I know he saw the end zone. And right at the point where he was getting ready to accelerate, he was running, and some guy dove out of nowhere and hit him low, or went at him low. And I think instinctively, my son Dominic, he dropped the ball. And he beat himself up for that. He kicked himself. He beat himself up there. When he got back to the sideline, the coach, the player said, don't worry about just one play. But with Dominic, he kept on rehearsing it in his mind, trying to go back in his mind. If I could have, when I made that cut, if I could have grabbed the ball different, then that wouldn't have happened. And so as a result, it beat him up. But one day I was talking to this one ex-professional ball player, and he was telling me to tell my son is that the greatest players are the ones that have the ability to forget the last play. Hear me. There are many people you're afraid because you remember what happened before. But your success is predicated on you forgetting what happened last time, on you forgetting what you didn't do last time. See, because the thing about it, some of the greatest leaders of our time, they have failed over and over again. Even the Bible says that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are the called according to God's purpose. See, the thing about it, the Bible says all things work together. All things work together. The reason why all things work together, that means success and failure, the good and the bad, is because they're connected in the sense that in failure, in the sense that when you make a mistake, it's a teaching moment. Because in that teaching moment, you are going to think, and not to think or not to do it again, or not to think not to try again, but to think with the information on how, when that situation presents itself again, you just do something different. Make a different choice, make a different decision. That's what you do. And so even Paul said, Apostle Paul, he said, forgetting those things that are behind me. And so he had to understand, and he realized and understood that he couldn't, if he wanted to move forward, he could not look back in his past. And so because of that, he forgot it. And after he forgot his past, after he forgot those things that was behind him, because those things that were behind him were instrumental in his, they were like his stepping stone, or it was like fuel. It was education. It was a teaching moment that allowed him to be able to move forward. That's why he said he reached forward. He reached forward. And then he said he pressed toward the prize. And see, the thing about it, there is a prize, there's a goal. But in order to get to that prize and that goal, you must defeat, or you must forget your mistakes. You must forget what happened. Don't forget in the sense of learning the information or learning the teaching moment from that pain. Because even Solomon said, in wisdom there's much sorrow, and in knowledge there's much grief. So in other words, your wisdom and your knowledge comes from your pain. It comes from you falling. It comes from you making a mistake. And so don't be like the one Don't be like the one that you become paralyzed. See, the adversary, he wants you to become paralyzed in that situation. He wants you to become paralyzed in that circumstance. He wants you to become paralyzed in that mindset that tells you, I can't try. I don't want to go forward. Because if I go forward, the same thing that happened before is going to happen again. And see, some of you, you're like that even in your marriage. You don't want to try again because in your mind, you said, if I try again, everything get comfortable. He's going to cheat again. She's going to cheat again. They're going to do this again. But you know what? You never know till you try. You never know till you try. And so what you need to do is to forget your past. Forget that mistake as far as holding you back not to try again. But use that mistake, use that pain, use that hurt, use that situation as information, as an educational tool that will teach you how to do something different. Make adjustments. That's what wisdom is all about, making adjustments. And see, with time, you make adjustments. If this don't work, do something different. In relationships, you find yourself getting in the same relationship over and over again, the same kind of guy, over and over again, the same kind of woman, over again. I told this person this one time, if you want steak, you don't go to a place where they serve hamburgers. You go to a place where they serve steak. So in other words, if you want your relationships, the men or the women in your life that you date to change who you talk to. Change the places you go. Change the people that you surround yourself by around. See, because based on your surrounding will determine what's there and actually what you're attracted to. Which means is that if you want to become attracted to something different, present something in yourself that's different. Oftentimes people wonder, even ladies, they talk about all men are dog. Well, all men that you dealt with probably was dog. But the only reason that they ended up being dog is because of what you offered. See, because if you had a standard, letting people know what you will and will not do, then dogs won't come. But if you present yourself as someone who's the cream of the crop, as someone who's respectful, then what you will get is those who are respectful. I'm done. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try. Try and see what's going to happen. God bless you.